other stuff. I was attached to the intel cell just because they wanted a legitimate radio operator with their little, make sure, like, they wanted one guy for like each specialty. Like they wanted a corpsman, they wanted a no shit radio operator just in case something went down. They wouldn't have to call somebody to bring them something out or whatever. I could fix it on the spot. All that. Onto patrol. It was, I want to say right in the middle of Ramadan. Don't know the exact date, but we're supposed to go out and set up a 48-hour OP. So we packed accordingly. Got our chow, water. We started off from the snake pit, basically. Took off from Snake Pit, Shit Creek, Real. I think we were on the corner of, I want to say, Little Michigan and Dodge. Not real sure. Okay. But, like I said, right in the middle of Ramadan, and I'd say about 9 hours into the OP, it started to get, like, it was daylight right when we got there. And, like, right when it started to get dark, we hit, like, everybody's getting ready for Ramadan, like, for the night and stuff. They go out and they eat and stuff like that. We're in this, there's about 9 people in the house already, multiple little kids, a few women, and the man of the house, which is about, I'd say, 60 years old, but you can't really tell because they look a lot older over there, because I guess Iraq is hard on you. It's definitely hard on me, I guess.
It's definitely aging me.
But as we're sitting there, we had a security set up, everything. We, with our 8 guys, around dark, started getting some knocks at the door, the gate, and stuff like that. And the guys I was with, I didn't know any better, so I basically learned from them what right and wrong was, and if they did it, obviously it was right because they were doing it. So pretty soon we had a house full of military-age males. Military-age males and women, not too many kids. Kids went somewhere. I'm not sure. I guess they stayed in the room, but I'd say about 20 to 30 people in the house around midnight that night, just eating and like just getting weird looks from these teenagers and these 20 to 30-year-old men just looking at you like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? And they're eating, they're having a good old time. Party was over. So they just, like, my platoon sergeant, or what do we call him, platoon sergeant, section leader? I don't know. Sure, intel cell leader. He's like, all right, let them all go home. So I was like, oh, God. And that, by then I knew that one. I was like, we can let them in, as long as we don't let them leave until we leave, we'll be fine. We let them in, then we let them leave, and we still had another, say, about 24 hours to go. So a little scared, and I'm looking out every window. Even on my rest period, I'm looking out every window. We have this little, well, I guess a little cat hole window, just like up above, like right at the stairwell. You turn right, and there's a little window right here, and you can see the rooftop of another building. And these buildings are connected somehow. And I was like, this guy's gonna come through here and just like throw a grenade through this window. I was like scared shitless. And we extracted about 4 hours early. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was very terrifying for a non-infantry guy. Like, I don't know, it just may have been me, but like grunts, they look at, like, they could pick out a shit bag. Like this grunt, this Marine is definitely a piece of shit, and like he doesn't perform well, doesn't do anything right, always messes up. Everybody has to coach him through everything, even though we've been here however long. And like this shittiest, this is what my opinion, like, the worst operating grunt is still way better than a non-infantryman working with the grunts, because he still knows what's going on and stuff like that. But sorry to veer away from the story. But we extracted, foot mobile that back, of course. We saw a couple people on rooftops. Saw a couple of guys standing outside. Would say not real normal for 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, it's just, the story is just, it's basically because it's Ramadan and we let all the guys in the house, and it's not supposed to happen that way.
Okay, I remember you said earlier something about like a scarecrow or something like that.
Oh, okay. This is before Ramadan. We got inserted LPVA we're gonna do a foot patrol from OPVA. Basically, we would call it the President Patrol, Ramadi 2. Not sure what we called it back then, but went south of OPVA, crossed Shit Creek, till we crossed Buckeye. Then we hit the canal, started going west, go back to the Snake Pit, just slow patrol, look for anything like unusual, stuff like that. Right before we crossed Little Buckeye, there's a, I was in an alley, I was looking, going back and forth. It was a little windy, not too breezy, and I saw a silhouette, looked like a man, but I wasn't too sure, so I kind of kept an eye on it, and then I looked back, and then I guess the wind blew one of the flaps off the shirt or whatever, and it looked like it waved at me, and I just aimed in on it, and like my section leader almost shit his pants because he was beside me talking on the radio, so he drops the radio, aims in too, he's like, "It's a fucking scarecrow, idiot." That's pretty much it about that one.
Well, I thought you said something too about
Taking contact.
You were saying something about the way the Marines move at night and whatnot.
Definitely.
This kind of goes back to when you said you were kind of veering from the story.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the worst shit back. Infantrymen is quantum leaps better than.
Yeah, well, they definitely perform really well, no matter what time of day. Nighttime, especially. Because I go out there like, "You're coming with us, we're doing this, we've taught you a lot of things, and we want to see you apply it," not as a radio operator, but as a makeshift grunt, I guess you could say. They just, even with all the gear like that, jumping 7-foot walls, and just like still quiet, just doing everything they can to be the most tactical, just to be tactical, and they move really well. They communicate well together. Squad leaders are definitely shit hot. Well, Ramadi 1 and Ramadi 2, the ones I went with. Mainly Ramadi 1, 3rd Platoon, Derek Brown, Cooper Dosek, and all of them. That's our link with Lieutenant Larson. So basically, that's what I picture like Marines doing, what Marines are, like the way they operate and stuff like that. So
I appreciate you sharing that with us. Real quick, OF4, the officers are pretty much carrying the ball on that one, since it's like the whole transformation, transition shift from 3rd to 4th generation warfare kind of thing. But real quick, I can start with you, Mr. Brown. Yeah, just two different things. What was like, you think, the high point for you in the operation, and then the next point, what was like the worst thing about it? Like if you had some advice to give to another comm guy who's going to take over for you for a 7-month pump.
Advice, well, things are never, ever, ever exactly like you want them to be. Like when I first got there, I was stoked to be in a line company working with grunts, because I knew, like, if I wasn't going to be with them, I was going to be miserable sitting in the H&S company doing Pogue stuff. I guess just like basically you just gotta accept that you work for them and nothing is ever gonna go your way. A lot of sleepless nights because so many working parts with the radio. You guys do this, this, and this, and they all gotta be exactly like a clone of each other before anybody can talk to each other. And if you're not on top of your shit, make sure you get your time hacks every week. Make sure every radio has crypto. Make sure it takes crypto. If they say this is wrong on my radio, even if they're wrong, you can't say, "Well, no, you're wrong, I'm not going to go look at it." You got to go actually put effort into go make sure their shit's good. Because if they can't talk out of town, then if something happens and the whole company's pretty much fucked.
So that would be the worst.
That would be the worst.
Like if somebody was coming in and they ask you, "What's the best and worst thing about your job?" That would be the
best
worst.
thing is like the camaraderie with grunts. Because even though I wasn't a grunt, like you can see, like these guys are brothers. Like they discipline each other like brothers. They talk shit and they hug and they fight, and I don't want to say kiss, but they
Well, no one's
it's
looking.
like brother sister stuff or brother stuff. I don't know. But definitely camaraderie. You get a little bit more respect. a lot more respect.
Oh,
All the
because
guys-
you're like the professional for the